Hello everyone and welcome to another art lesson with UdoCreatives. Today, we will be going over the process of how to draw a realistic eye using charcoal and graphite pencils. If you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe to UdoCreatives for more art content. So for this pencil drawing, I'm going to be using a blending Stump 5H pencil, Wolf's Carbon Pencil 4B and B grade. I'm also going to be using Faber Castel Polychromo pencils, Faber Castel Perfection eraser, and a Mono Zero eraser. This is a Conté Paris charcoal pencil. I'll be using it as well. I'm also going to be using 5B and 6B Faber Castel pencils. I'll be using a bunch of brushes as well. This is a charcoal white pencil. I'm also going to be using my Jakar compressed charcoal set. I scraped this to get my different shades of charcoal powder. Here are some other brushes I will be using. Unlike some of my other videos, I will not be using the grid method for this piece. I will be doing a freehand sketch to show you guys that this is also an option. Now, let's work on our base outline. I'll use my 5H pencil for this. You'll also see me use my Mono Zero eraser for corrections. At times, you'll see me using my blending Stump during this process to soften my outlines. I'll also be working on the eyebrows. Just drawing simple lines to represent hair strands for now. I'll also add the pupil in there. Our sketched outline is looking good right now. I feel satisfied with this as my base layer. Next, using my soft brush, I will apply a layer of white charcoal on my paper. Now, I will use my 4B carbon pencil to bring out my outlines more. The reason for improving my outlines and making them more pronounced is to keep them visible when I start shading. I'll be using my blending Stump to blend these outlines. I'll soften the shades with my hard brush. I'll do these steps of pronouncing my outlines until I am satisfied. At times, you'll notice me using my mono 0 for corrections. Now that I am satisfied with these improvements, I'll use my bristle brush to blend and shade these outlines. Next, I will use my Conté pencil to delicately shade around the iris. I'll use my blending Stump to blend this shade. Now, for the pupil, I will use a Q-tip to apply some mid-dark charcoal to the area. The Q-tip gave a messy finish, so for that, I will use my mono 0 for correction. Here, I'm just retouching. Next, I will use my bristle brush to shade in some light mid-gray compressed charcoal powder around the white of the eye. Now, using my Q-tip, I will be adding a layer of mid-gray charcoal around the iris. I'll use my bristle brush to spread some more charcoal around and blend. Next, I will add some charcoal white using my bristle brush to smoothen the look. This will help to maintain the tone I want before my next step. I'll use my soft brush at times to clean up and smoothen. Next, I'll be using my Conté pencil to darken the pupil. I'll blend with my bristle brush. As you can see, our eyeball is taking shape. Next, I will use my hard brush to apply and shade in black compressed charcoal to the right and upper right edge of the eye. Next, I'll gradually work on the outlines on my lower eyelid. I will use my 5H and 5B pencils to outline, then use my hard and bristle brushes to soften. Next, using my 4B Wolf's carbon pencil, I'll add some eyelashes on there. Simple strokes should be fine. I will blend the top eyelashes using black compressed charcoal as I move along. You can use a hard brush for this, but be gentle. Next, using the 4B Wolf's carbon pencil, I will be upgrading some outlines, and then blending with my brush. Here, I'm just blending around the eye with some white compressed charcoal. Now, I'll shade around the eyelids using my hard brush and dark mid-gray charcoal powder. I'll blend this using my bristle brush. I'll do the same thing again, but this time using black compressed charcoal. Next, I'll use my charcoal pencil to pull out some depth. I'll blend with my bristle brush. Next, I'll use my soft brush to apply more shade around my eye. I'm softly applying a dark mid-gray layer of charcoal. This layer represents skin. You can watch our video on how to represent skin tones using charcoal and graphite for more information on skin tones. Link in description. As you can see, my eyebrows are getting lost in my shading. I mentioned before how this can happen. I will use my 5B pencil to revive the eyebrows. I'll first blend using my soft brush. After that, I will work a bit more on the eyebrows, and then blend using my bristle brush. Remember, as an artist, you should be experimenting with your tools to discover what effects you can create. Next, I'll be applying and blending in some black compressed charcoal under the left side of the eyebrow using my bristle brush. I'll finish it with my hard brush. I'll smoothen it out with my soft brush. I'll use my soft brush to spread and blend in some dark mid-gray compressed charcoal around a darker area. Next, I will use my soft brush to add in some light gray compressed charcoal to that lighter area. I'm using my soft brush because it allows me to spread charcoal over a larger area. The next area will be the highlighted area. For this, I will use white compressed charcoal. Next, I will use my bristle brush to add some black compressed charcoal on the darker region again. Notice how this gives a darker effect than with the soft brush. I'll still use my soft brush to smoothen the area. I'm manipulating my brush in such a way that I am creating a transition between the dark and light side of that part of the drawing. Next, I'll create a soft shade beneath the eyes using my soft brush. So right now, using my soft brush, I am busy spreading and blending in the charcoal. Next, using the bristle brush and dark gray mixed with black compressed charcoal, I will be creating some depth. So right now I am using my soft brush. I am going to be applying some black compressed charcoal. This will represent skin. I'll soften this out by using my soft brush to apply some white compressed charcoal. Next, I'll use my carbon pencil to add in some wrinkles. I'll blend these using my hard brush and black compressed charcoal. Next, I'll represent some darkness and depth by using my hard brush to apply some black compressed charcoal. So right now, using my bristle brush, I am applying some black compressed charcoal to the upper plane of the eyes, just to create some depth and some form. Next, I'll use my bristle brush to apply some charcoal white, just to lighten that side a bit. Here, I'll use my hard brush to apply some black compressed charcoal. Notice the depth being created. I'll finish with my bristle brush. Next, I'll use my bristle brush to create a soft outline using dark compressed charcoal. I'll apply mid-gray compressed charcoal in the area within the outline. Once I'm done with this, I'll soften it using my bristle brush. I'm just blending around with my bristle brush. As you can see, I am applying some dark gray compressed charcoal. One method of creating highlights is overlaying your dark areas with light gray or white compressed charcoal. Next, using my bristle brush, I am going to be applying some mid-gray to the sides. I'll use my soft brush to create some shade next. For the next step, I am going to be mainly focusing on the eyeball. I will use my bristle brush to apply some charcoal white to create highlights in the eyeball. Next, I will create some depth using my Conté and 4B carbon pencils. This combination gives a dark finish that maintains its form when blended. I will blend using my bristle brush. Next, I will use my hard brush to blend in some dark compressed charcoal. I'll soften my shade by using my bristle brush and some light grey compressed charcoal. I'll repeat these steps until I'm satisfied. Now that I'm satisfied, I will use my Conté charcoal pencil to bring out an outline in the upper plane of the eyes. I will blend this using my hard brush. Next, I will use my B carbon pencil to revive my eyelashes that got lost during my shading. Eyelashes are easy to draw. Just draw a curve with the pattern I am showing you, and you should be fine. Next, I will focus on darkening the pupil and iris. I will do this using my Conté pencil. For the pupil, I will cover the whole area with my shade. For the iris, I will use a softer touch and also avoid some areas. These areas will represent some highlights. Remember to be patient with yourself. Take a break if you need to. I'll blend the shade on the iris with my bristle brush, and then finish with my hard brush. I'm doing this carefully. Our eye is looking really good right now. Next, I will apply more white compressed charcoal using my bristle brush to lighten the eyeball. Next, I will use the dark grey compressed charcoal bar itself to create an outer line around the iris. As humans, we have some blurred outline around our iris. I am representing that here. I'll blend this line with my bristle brush. I'll make some corrections by applying white charcoal with my bristle brush. Next, I will use my carbon pencil to draw more eyelashes. After this, I'll blend around with my hard brush. Next, using my bristle brush, I will apply some more dark charcoal to give the illusion of a full eyebrow. Since some of the hair textures got lost in that last step, I will revive them using my carbon pencil. Notice that the highlight in the eye is more pronounced. All I did there was use my Mono 0 to pull out that highlight. Now, I'll use my 5H pencil to draw some loose strands. Next, I'll use my Mono 0 to pull out some hair strands. I'll supplement this with my 5H pencil and carbon pencil, while also blending with my bristle brush. Now, going back to the eyeball, I'll use my Mono 0 to pull out some highlights at the bottom of the eyeball. Again, I'm using my 5H pencil to add subtle details. Next, I'll use my pencil eraser to dab into the paper and create some light texture and details. Now, I'm going to use my 5H pencil, Mono 0, and pencil eraser to add some details and textures around my work. Here, I'm adding some shade to create depth using my 5H pencil. I'll blend this with my bristle brush. Here, I'm using my white charcoal pencil to create and improve highlights in the iris. I'll blend this with my bristle brush. I'll do any retouching with my black carbon pencil. Next, using my soft brush and some white charcoal, I'll quickly lighten up some areas of the drawing. Here, I'm again adding textures. Next, I'm again going to work on the eyelashes to make them more pronounced. I'll use my 5H and carbon pencils for this. I'll blend the drawn eyelashes subtly with my bristle brush. Next, I will draw some veins around the eye using my 1 Grey 5 Polychromo pencil. I'll add some details and textures again. Next, I will use my soft brush with some white and light grey compressed charcoal to lighten up some areas of my work. Then it's back to adding textures and details. Follow closely. I'm just exaggerating some of my already added textures to give finishing touches to my work. This is mostly just to satisfy myself. Art does not ever get finished. There is no perfect work. If you let yourself, you can keep adding more and more. I'm showing that here. Just adding subtle details around. You also need to be careful when adding these finishing details. It is easy to get carried away and ruin your work. Knowing when to call it a day comes with experience. Also, don't be hard on yourself. Everyone makes mistakes. The important thing is that you learn from them. Now we have come to the end of this tutorial showing how to draw an eye using charcoal and graphite. Remember to experiment and practice to get a better command of your skills and tools. I hope that you've gained insightful techniques in this tutorial, and I hope to see you use these techniques in your drawings. Thank you very much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to UdoCreatives for more art content.